policy of Congress, especially given the fact that what just took place in Orlando, Florida, in San Bernardino, in our backyard, at UCLA. This is a historic package, and this is the toughest restrictions on guns and ammunition in the nation, bar none.
Let's talk a little bit about exactly what happened. So you're banning the bullet button. Now this was the previous provision, you banned automatic weapons. But you could use a bullet, which was a tool, to disengage the magazine.
That's correct.
That's no longer allowed.
No longer allowed. Someone with dexterity can obviously release a clip, the magazine, and they can replace that magazine with the magazine that has the capability of shooting 30, 40, 50, 100 bullets.
So you don't want any detachable magazines?
No detachable magazines in the state of California, because it is a loophole that the gun manufacturers and the NRA have taken advantage of to circumvent our ban on assault weapons in California.
And you have a background on those who buy ammunition?
We have a background on those who buy ammunition. The reason why is this, is that we're bringing common sense
A background check, I should say.
A background check. We're bringing common sense to what's happening in California and elsewhere throughout the nation. If you buy beer, it requires identification. If you buy tobacco, cigarettes, it requires identification. But anyone can walk into any gun store in the state of California. No questions are asked whatsoever. So that means if you're a prohibited person, a felon from San Quentin prison, or you just got out of LA County Jail, you can walk into any gun store in Los Angeles or elsewhere and buy all the ammunition that you want. No questions asked. And the thesis behind this measure is that the ammunition, the bullets, are the fuel that feeds the violence. It's the oxygen that feeds these guns, and without the bullets, without the ammunition, the guns simply don't function.
Prior to this, we still had the most restrictive gun laws of any state in the nation. What evidence do you have to suggest that they have actually made the state safer?
Well, listen, when we get rid of bullet holes, bullet buttons, I should say, that is closing a loophole. When you close a loophole, you're saving a life. When we had the banning of all assault weapons in the state of California, what happened? National Rifle Association, as well as the gun manufacturers, working together, tried to circumvent it, and they did successfully by alerting or manufacturing new types of weapons that allow you to detach the high-capacity magazines. Now, that will be illegal in the state of California. We understand that each law that we pass, the gun manufacturers are going to try to circumvent and create a new loophole, and it's a fluid and dynamic, process. But it is our responsibility to protect our constituents.
Some of the most restrictive gun laws in the world are in Istanbul, Turkey. It didn't stop Kalashnikovs from being used in the...
I'm not familiar with gun laws in Istanbul.
The weapons being used in San Bernardino, they also violate the California standards. So the argument from the NRA and others is that, listen, we got it, but criminals and terrorists are not going to abide by gun laws.
But you know what? I'd take that question and I'd actually turn it around. Because my role as elected official is to represent the people of California, not the National Rifle Association or the political interests. How is it that we have such lax gun laws and ammunition laws in the United States of America that allow sympathizers of terrorists, as well as ISIL or ISIS, as well as individuals who are mentally impaired, who shouldn't be purchasing lawfully these types of weapons and ammunition, but it happens all the time. So we have individuals actually who are taking advantage of the current lax gun laws that we have here in California, as well as the rest of the nation.
We have a lax gun law in the fact law enforcement says has a Prop 47, which we've talked about in this program, which reduced the penalty for drug offenses to a misdemeanor, and also anyone who steals $950 or less, not a felony, it's a misdemeanor, and that includes a gun. And so right now, under the law in California, if you steal a gun, and cops say that most of the guns they see have been stolen, it's a slap on the wrist.
Well, we're going to have to change that legislatively. We're going to try to do that again later this year, sometime in August, when we come back to session. We're going to change that, and we want to move from a misdemeanor to an actual felony.
You have to go back to...
we have to go back to...
So, before the voters will be a ballot measure that will have many of the same provisions that you just voted on. Gavin Newsom, the Lieutenant Governor, has been promoting that. Why was it important to pass this and not send this off to the voters and have them adjudicate whether or not these laws should be approved?
Because, Conan, our role as legislators, as effective elected officials, is to represent the people. And that's what we did in Sacramento just a few days ago.
So this ballot measure, as far as you're concerned, is meaningless?
As far as I'm concerned, we've done our role. We've done our role in the state capitol. We have the most restrictive gun laws, and individuals that want to further their own political interests, that's their own business, but we've taken care of business. And as far as I'm concerned, any ballot initiative in the fall is irrelevant.
Now, you know where I'm going with this, because
I think I do.
The lieutenant governor was very concerned that you, in your bill, wrote sort of a poison pill, that even if this ballot measure does pass, your legislation will take priority when it comes to the background check on ammunition. His spokesman, Dan Newman, said that was shockingly, sickeningly cynical. Quote, is he someone, referring to you, who truly respects the will of the voters and wants to reduce gun violence, or is he merely a self-serving cynic completely consumed with petty personal grudges? Your response to the Lieutenant Governor's spokesman.
Listen, this is the bottom line. I don't know who Dan Newman is, and as an elected official, as a president of the Senate, it's my responsibility to protect families, to protect communities, to protect neighborhoods, to protect children. And that's what we did as a state legislative body. I cannot be prouder of the members of the Senate and the Assembly and the bold leadership of our Governor Brown, for the action that we took a few days ago. We are the premier state. We are the leaders in the entire nation. And when we lead, the nation as well as the world follows. So I'm not into political gamesmanship. I don't know who this individual is. But if the Lieutenant Governor wants to talk to me, he can always pick up the phone.
Some have suggested this is a battle between two people who want to become governor. He's already running. Yet to announce.
I'm the president of the Senate of California, and that's my focus. That's always been my focus. This is not about political gamesmanship. This is about saving lives. I've been at this for more than 10 years, working on the issue of ammunition, bullets, and gun safety laws in the state of California. I have a track record that's very clear on this issue. This is an issue that I care deeply about, because when I ran for office for the very first time back in 2006, there was a young girl, Churupa Wang's-Wisteri, a Thai girl, 9 years old, who was shot in the head by a bullet by 2 gang members just 1 block away from my house in Angelino Heights. So we're talking about real lives, we're talking about real families.
The State Senate President Pro Tem Kevin Newsom, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Up next, the City of Los Angeles tries to tackle the issue of homelessness. Does it mean a tax hike for property owners? We talk with LA City Councilor Mike Bonnet next.
Okay, now what we're going to have is some fun. We just watched Mr. De Leon, July 3rd, 2016, Sunday morning news at about 9:08 in the morning. Say he's so for the people and protecting everyone, right? Well, how is it that Mr. De Leon doesn't care about Chief Beck and the LAPD Police Commission being total felons? The City Council, LA City Council not giving a damn. LAPD OIG breaking the law. The 2003 DOJ agreement being broken on internal affairs. And then let's go to the $400 billion problem on the MTA bond tax to infinity. Well, Mr. De Leon, I busted you and Senator Mendoza. Documented, didn't I? Phone calls and emails. Isn't it interesting you decide, when you're the one who puts up the bill, to allow this corrupt game to go? And by the way, how does everybody forget Measure J? Mr. De Leon, I'm the one that organized Stopping Measure J, bud. I put the black and brown community together in them Beverly Hills. You never thought that could happen. Well, stuff happens, and it's happening right now. Organizing again to take you people out and all your corruption. When you don't care about $400 billion in proper due process, Mr. Senate Pro Tem De Leon, who are you? Along with Jackie Lacey, that criminal. Kamala Harris, documented criminal. Karen Bass, that doesn't care about civil rights or my healthcare and Social Security being illegally taken away for the second time because I make too much money at $680 a month, Mr. De Leon. Or your Board of Equalization supervisor and 2 other fools calling in that I threatened their life and closed down a whole building on a false police report, while you all cooperate in a major conspiracy to try to take me out for years and years, because I have you all caught in now over 1 trillion documented fraud, bud. So don't be talking to me or anybody else about how good a dude you and Mendoza and the rest of those corrupt people are up there. I got the proof you've all been noticed on this. You people are not too good. You are totally arrogant, stupid, and lawbreakers. That's why I call this country Nazi, fascist, AMERIKKKA. Do you understand? You have turned it into Nazi, fascist America. With the help of the public. Just remember, Germany, 1933. That's us. We bang Russia. Name me another empire that gave up their empire before they crashed, dude. That's them. We haven't learned a thing. Just like you. Whoever paid you off, because there's no way 40 minutes before Ridley Thomas states, why, there's no hearing anymore. Remember the hearing you're going to have the day after the meeting? And 40 minutes before he states that, your lackey Mendoza's office gives me the address, time, floor, and everything for your hearing. And 40 minutes later, Ridley Thomas says, oh, there ain't going to be no more hearing. And it won't be over the money and process. It's going to be over changing the nature of the MTA board. You know, I've been through this for 45 years, dude. That's longer than you've been around, okay? You don't fool me for nothing, none of you. And now, with what I got in mind, dude, you know, a grand jury can take your butt out of office. So, get ready for whatever creative shit I'm dreaming up, Mr. Idiot Senate Pro Tem. De Leon. George Bazzetti, former Director of Policy for the Congress of Racial Equality of California. 45 years of civil rights, and dude, 45 years ago I took out 4 gurus of my capabilities with psychological warfare. Coming home to you now. You try, you're amateurs, I'm good. It's fair for one, fair for all, right? Okay. The only difference is, you guys operate illegally. I operate legally. Loading up to YouTube right now. Thank you, Mr. De Leon, for coming on to TV and rapping your stupid rap so I can nail you with your own words, because that's how I do it. Ask him at LA Unified.